Hello class, today we'll talk about our allies Grapsus, who is also known as red rock crab, abuete negro, and sadly Lightfoot. Grapsus crabs are our friends because they clean ornithodora sticks from us, the marine iguanas, endemic to Galapagos Islands. Our relationship with Grapsus is called mutualistic symbiosis, as crab gets its dinner and we become parasite-free. Grapsus is found along the Pacific coast of Mexico, Central America, South America, as far south as northern Peru, and on nearby islands, which is our home, the Galapagos Islands. Our friend Grapsus is a typically shaped crab with 5 pairs of legs, the front 2 bearing small blocky symmetrical chellae. The other legs are broad and flat, with only the tips touching the substrate. The crab's round, flat carapace is slightly longer than 8 centimeters. Young Grapsus are black or dark brown in color and are camouflaged well on the black lava coast of volcanic islands. When crabs mature, they become bright, brilliant shades of red, blue, and yellow. Grapsus was first described by Carl Linnaeus in the 1758 as a Cancer Grapsus. It belongs to the phylum Arthropoda and subphylum Crustacea. In 1990, it was separated as its own species, Grapsus, from Grapsus adsensionis. Grapsus adsensionis is most common in the eastern Atlantic, while the Grapsus is not. They differ morphologically in the coloration of the periopods and the form of the Furzoea larva. So far, there is no evidence for any genetic connection between the two populations. Grapsus crabs live amongst the rocks at the often turbulent, windy shore just above the limit of the sea spray. It has been found feeding on algae underwater as deep as 1 meter. These crabs run with extraordinary speed and agility along the upright side of rock and even under rocks that hang horizontally over the sea and can cling tightly to rocks when hit by surf while feeding. During this encounter, the crabs press their flattened bodies to the rock and cling on until the waves recedes. They emerge from the surf and continue feeding as if nothing happened. Their ability to hide away in crevices is often necessitated for escaping predation by rapacious birds which pursue them. In general, males develop bigger claws than females. The development of gonads corresponds with these anatomical changes, and growth of sexual characters is under hormonal control. During courtship, males will battle for females by first facing each other, then sidestepping right and left in tandem while touching claws. If neither crab retreats, one crab will lunge at the other and try to grab his rival's claws and break them off. If this occurs, the retreating crab is chased away by the victor, who now has access to a nearby female. After receiving the sperm, females release their fertilized eggs, storing remaining sperm in their spermatheca. Eggs remain suspended on a female's belly for protection until hatching. Females will only mate again when all stored sperm has been used, which is dependent on how many eggs are produced at a time. While females will only mate with one male at a time, males and females may have multiple partners over a breeding season. Males will mate frequently but have to wait 10 to 20 days to regenerate sperm. Male Grapsus crabs exhibit no parental involvement following fertilization. Females carry fertilized eggs underneath their bodies to protect them from predators and keep them out of direct sunlight. When it is time for eggs to hatch, females aid this process by rubbing them between their bodies and the rough surface over shallow water. Larvae drop into the water and are completely independent. The zoea larva hatches in embryonic form as a prezoea but quickly molts to the first zoea. Grapsus have a typical zoea larva with long rostral, dorsal, and lateral spines on the carapace, slender curved abdomen, and forked telson. The life cycle of Grapsus, as with most procurant crabs, involves a planktonic larvae phase, zoea, recruitment of megalopyre, and growth through instars. These phases are separated by two important modes during ontogeny. The transition of the last juvenile instar to an adult is marked by a critical mold which is accompanied by morphological changes. Grapsus crabs are known to live for up to 10 years in captivity. Average lifespan in the wild is not exactly known, but most likely is limited mainly by predation. The larvae of this species are free-swimming. It is unknown whether they stay in groups and what strategies besides long spines may be used for protection from predation. Juveniles typically live in groups, while adult crabs live solitary lives, only coming together around food sources or for mating. There is no notable interaction between individuals otherwise, even when they encounter each other. These crabs are typically most active during morning and afternoon, when they search rocks in coastal zones for food or mates. This timing reduces exposure to predators and prevents desiccation during times of high heat. When not out searching for food and mates, Grapsus spend their time in the cracks of rocks or other shaded small areas into which they can deeply wedge themselves for protection from predators. If this fails to protect them, they may spit a stream of water at the predator, use their claws for protection, or even shed a leg, which can be grown back. Individuals do not have selected territories, tending to wander about rocky shorelines looking for food and mates before returning to non-specific rock outcroppings. These crabs communicate using touch, chemical signals, and visual cues. Antennae are used by larvae as tactile receptors. Adults have fine, spine-like projections near the tip of each leg, which are used for chemoreception for detecting pheromones, as well as sensing vibration and other tactile input. This species has compound eyes and use their acute vision to find prey or spot a predator. Growth is an important mechanism in the life of Grapsus, and they continue to grow throughout life, but with increasingly long intervals between molts. As a larvae, Grapsus feeds on phytoplankton. After molting into a juvenile, it primarily feeds on algae, sponges, mollusks, crustaceans, fishes, carrion, mainly seals and birds, young sea turtles, bird eggs and droppings, and bat guano. Most food is obtained by scavenging along rocks and the shoreline. Live fish and sea turtle hatchlings may be caught in shallow waters with their claws. The large claw situated on the right is generally used for crushing, while the more slender claw on the left is used for cutting. The cheliped wrists are equipped with broad, flattened, sharp-tipped spines. Grapsus have been known to resort to cannibalism when population densities are high or food is scarce. Grapsus are used alive or dead as bait for shoreline fishing and are not considered very edible by humans. They also help maintaining clean shorelines, which is particularly important in areas that rely on tourism. As a prey, these crabs are very important for many predators, including a variety of birds, octopi, eels, fishes, and cats. Most common predators of Grapsus are brown booby, Galapagos lava heron, octopi, wahoo, and yellowfin tuna. If bothered, these crabs may give a painful pinch or squirt water on their antagonizers. That's it for today's talk about our friends Grapsus crabs. Next time we'll talk about our predators, dogs.